Chapter 5, Galatians. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty, only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed, that ye be not consumed one of another. Incredible. That's very simple to understand. And at the same time, there's a greater fullness of understanding. And in this will be the full view of why the two systems, law and grace, cannot coexist. And it's going to have everything to do with the understanding of what Jesus Christ himself taught in parables. And then there'll be things like this in its understanding where Jesus Christ himself is timeless, the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That would also mean that his truth would also have to be timeless. That would have to be relevant for not only those yesterday, and even for those of us today, but for the successive generations of peoples to come. His truth would have to be relevant throughout all of those ages of time and be consistent to keep giving and fully be consistent with the truth of the advancements of their current understanding in that age ahead. Just like the truth we see now is consistent with our understanding in this present age. Let's take for example the number 666. For hundreds of years, many people traditionally have not known what that meant outside the understanding of the mark of the beast. And still within that understanding of saying the mark of the beast, they still don't get it. And then it's further clarified that it's also known as the number of a man. And when you say it's the number of a man, what you find out is something of incredible importance that even relates back to why it's known as the mark of the beast in its fullness, if you can gather the understanding. But my point is that 666 has everything to do with the carbon atom. It's literally the dust that we ourselves are created from. So real quick in this understanding, if you can imagine that for thousands of years the Bible has had it within it coded information about DNA, genes, and atoms, but yet this information has been lost to the world because of what? Traditional interpretation. Because of the crystallized word. Because of this fall to the law as your truth, and that you yourself cannot progress past it in your understanding. And we're going to find out that like this understanding of 666, which is relevant to our successive understanding and our intellectual capacity to receive even spiritual truth, and today where we are today is relevant for us. Well, if that can be found within the Bible and offer more of an expansive view, then so too can everything else. If you don't crystallize it and make it habit, make it tradition, make it ceremonial, and institutionalize it, it's not what you're to do. So that's why Jesus Christ himself taught in parables. So not only, my friends, am I going to show you the understanding for the relevance of verse 14, and then of course we got a perfect example of what not to do by verse 15. And of course so many are doing that. I'm going to give you a better understanding, not just by my words, but I'm going to give you examples. I'm going to show you why these two systems, law and grace, cannot coexist. And of course this grace being Jesus Christ. So we need to find examples of events in the Bible, his actions and his words, that will support this as truth. And we can do it. We're going to show you where this grace is breaking this law. Supposedly the law that so many people think that he gave not to be broken. And you're going to find out even by the very use of his teaching technique of a parable shows that he was leaving this truth open to the understanding of the Spirit of truth that dwelled with all. And that Spirit of truth has been poured out upon all flesh. I'll be back.